Hello students, today in this module we are going to study the topic female reproductive system. The female reproductive system topic is a part of the human reproduction, so let's begin with. The female reproductive system consists of a pair of ovaries, oviduct, cervix, vagina and external genital. These are the major parts of the female reproductive system: ovaries, a pair of ovaries, oviduct, uterus, cervix, vagina and the external genital. All this is located in the pelvic region. These pair of the system along with the pair of the mammary glands, they are the structurally and functionally important part which support the processes like ovulation, fertilization, pregnancy, child birth and the child care. So all the major events which are the part of the reproduction like ovulation, fertilization, pregnancy, birth and child care, all this is together supported by the female reproductive system and the mammary glands. Let's study about the ovaries more in detail. Ovaries are the primary female sex organs. They are having two major functions. The first is they help in the production of the egg or the ovum, and the second is it also help in the secretion of the ovarian hormones. Ovary is located on each side of the lower abdomen, and its size is about 2 to 4 centimeters in length. It is connected with the pelvic wall with the help of a ligament. So ligament is making the ovary to connect with the pelvic wall. So it is in the place with the help of the ligament. Now each ovary from outside, it is covered by a thin epithelium tissue. Epithelium layer is there, and inside this thin epithelium there is present ovarian stroma. This ovarian stroma region is divided into two major parts. The first is the cortex part or the peripheral cortex part, and the other one is the inner medulla region. So there are two major regions which are present in the stroma: the peripheral cortex and the inner medulla. This is all about the ovaries, the primary female sex organ. Next we will discuss about all the accessory ducts. Now the fallopian tube, uterus, vagina, all this constitute the accessory ducts. The fallopian tube is also known as the oviduct, and it is about 10 to 12 centimeters long. It extends from the each ovary to the uterus, and it is having three major parts. You can see in the diagram, ovary is having three major parts: isthmus, ampulla and infundibulum. Isthmus, ampulla and infundibulum. These are the three major regions of the fallopian tube. Let's discuss them in detail. The first part, that is the isthmus part, it is connected with the uterus. So the isthmus part is that region of the fallopian tube which is going to be opening into the uterus, and it is connecting uterus. Ampulla is the middle region that is present between the isthmus and the infundibulum. The infundibulum is that region which is closer to the ovary, okay, and the top of the infundibulum has certain finger-like projections, and that structure is known as fimbriae. This fimbriae is designed in such a manner that its function is to just receive or collect the ovum from the ovary. When the ovulation happens and the ovum is released from the ovary, the fimbriae collect that ovum and then transfer that ovum into the fallopian tube, and from the fallopian tube it moves to the other parts, that is uterus and other parts. So fimbriae is just collecting the ovum. Now here one thing needed to be noted, that the fallopian tube is not in a direct contact with the ovary. There is not a direct contact or direct connection of the fallopian tube with the ovary. The fimbriae are doing the function of collection of the ovum, and they are just in the close contact with the ovum but not directly connected. Now let's discuss about the uterus. Uterus is this region. It is having a shape of an inverted pear. This is the uterus region. The uterus is lined by three layers. It is covered by three layers. The outermost layer is known as perimetrium. It is a very thin layer. Then next layer is the myometrium. Myometrium is the middle layer, and it is made up of cushion and very thick layer, and this layer undergo strong contractions during the delivery of the baby. Then the third and the innermost layer is the endometrium layer. You can see this layer. This is the endometrium layer. The endometrium layer undergoes cyclic changes during the menstrual cycle, and it break off during the menstrual cycle. So these are the three major layers of the uterus. Uterus is also known as the womb. Here it is the place where the embryo is developed. Okay. Now the uterus lead to the cervix, cervical canal, and then vagina. The cervical canal and the vaginal canal is together making the birth canal. So after the uterus, the next is the certain external genital parts. The female external genital parts includes mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, hymen, and the clitoris. Now mons pubis is a cushion fatty tissue which is covered by the skin and the pubic hair, so it is the outermost part. Then is the labia majora part, which is having fleshy folds of the skin, and it is extending downwards and it is surrounding the vaginal opening. Then there is a part called labia minora. The labia minora is having a paired fold of the tissues, and it is present under the labia majora. Now the opening of the vagina is often covered partially by a membrane. We call it as the hymen. Near the hymen there is a glottis, which is a finger-like structure which lies just between the two labia minoras. Now this hymen layer is often tore during the first intercourse. However, it can be broken by sudden fall or during any sports activity. Hymen layer even persists in some few cases even after the intercourse. So this is all about the female reproductive system. That is this, and this diagram is very important, as all the major parts are mentioned over here: the ovary, the fallopian tube, the uterus, and the cervical canal and the vagina. I hope you all have understood the topic. In the next module we are going to do about the mammary glands and the gametogenesis. Thank you.